All right, so I'm joined here today with South African heavyweight boxer Juan Alberts. You'll be fighting in Empress Palace on May 31st on the coronation. Juan, firstly, how are you doing?
Oh, very well, thank you. Thank you for having me, first of all. It's been a very good journey. What can I say? Busy. But yeah, doing good overall. So.
And of course, you trained by the esteemed former super middleweight and light heavyweight champion Reno Liebenberg. How is it going and working out with him?
Oh, very well. It's a privilege to fight under such a legend. I look up to him, and his record speaks for himself. But yeah, he pushes you to the limits, and he knows what it takes to get to a certain level. So he knows the work you have to put in and the sacrifices you have to make. So it's tough. It's a journey from amateur to pro. It's a big change. But yeah, we do it.
And if I'm not mistaken, I mean, you're 22 years old, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And you got a long career ahead of you, especially as a heavyweight. Obviously, we see a lot of heavyweights peaking in their 30s and, that sort of thing. But you're doing the right moves so far in your career. You're very active. You've even fought in Cape Town recently. Talk to us about that experience.
Cape Town was wonderful. I'm very happy, can I say, a privilege to fight on that bill. The vibe was fantastic. The people were, they were kind, and it was just a vibe, can I say. There's so much that happened in Cape Town, the experience, the people you've met, just see the people in the boxing community standing together, and actually how much people love boxing. I experienced that in Cape Town, and I'm very happy to have been there. So yeah.
And it went well for you. You got a second round stoppage as well, so it must have meant the world to you to not just be there but to perform on that stage as well.
Yes, especially on that platform. It's not at home at Golden Gloves at Empress Palace, but it was at Fight Island, and it was an experience. It was so much pressure. I needed to show. I need to bring my A game, so it was nerve-wracking, but yeah, I did it.
What do you prefer at this point in your career? I mean, like obviously Empress Palace is where you've been fighting at for the first three fights of your career, and then you go to Cape Town. Do you get a little of the taste for travel now? Do you want to fight more outside, or does it not matter to you?
It does not matter. For me, I go wherever the sport intends, like where there's opponent. I don't mind traveling. You can see the world, meet new people. You get to know their culture, can I say. But yeah, it really doesn't. I don't care where I fight. I just love fighting. Can I put it like that?
Before I get to your next fight, I just want to ask the name, your alias, the Gentleman. Where did you get that from?
Yes. So the Gentleman, I've always been a kind of a gentleman, and I was an amateur, and then my amateur coach actually said to me, okay, we must get a name for you. And I've been amateur for 5 years, and with that certain coach, Coach Philip, and I was always this, was it teruggetrokken, this quiet guy, but in a ring, something else. So. And then he just mentioned one day, like Keeler or something like that. No, okay. Well, how about the Gentleman? And then he said, "Oh, that's actually nice." And then there's only one heavyweight ever in South Africa that had the name the Gentleman. I think it's like in 19 something, and he was a world champion as well. So I thought that's a very good reference. So it stuck, and I like it, the Gentleman.
And of course, you're always coming out with what you're wearing today.
Yes, Burki klere, yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, proud.
Yes, so I'm Afrikaans, you can hear from how I speak, I'm Afrikaans. Even though the music I listen to when I walk out, everything is Afrikaans. It's just I want to, like, everyone is proud of their culture and where they come from and the people and everything. So it's something to show and say that's what I love, that's who I am. I'm proud South African, and I do it for everyone. So yeah.
100%. And then let's move over to your fight. It'll be taking place again at Empress Palace, coming up against an international opponent from Brazil. Interesting. Obviously, something a lot different to what you're used to so far in your career. What do you make of international opponent being thrown in to fight yourself?
It's a challenge. It's a first for me. So I know he's going to come and bring his A game, but so am I. We put in the work. And it's going to be interesting. It's a stepping stone in. Everyone's going to have that boundary to fight such an opponent. He has been around the block. He has experience. He can fight. So come that Saturday night, and then we're going to put our skills and everything to challenge each other and see what happens. But confident enough, it's going to be a roll.
And with your team, I mean, obviously it's going to be a great fight. But I mean, is these the type of fights that they've discussed? Going forward, they want to match up against the the international guys.
So I think this is just to test really where my skill set is, how far I've come from the beginning till now. So I think it's more like to place myself amongst great boxers and see who's next. Can I say? Yeah.
And Juan, within South Africa, obviously there's SA titles and
Yes.
Other local competition. Is there anyone that you look at and you might want to match up with in the future?
Definitely, yes. So at the moment, the SA champion is Jean Potgieter. So when everything goes well, I would love to have a shot at the SA title. Whoever has the SA title, end of the day, it's a belt. You need the belt, and and all respect, that's going to be a fight, and that's what I'm aiming for. That's the dream. So
I like that as well, because a lot of young fighters, they should aspire to fighting for the belts, and whether it's Potgieter or whether it's Chris Thompson,
Yes.
who comes out a winner. Obviously you're going to be shooting up the rankings really soon, especially coming up against internationals. Is this fight against the guy from Brazil going to make you see where your career is at as well, and how far you can go?
Definitely, yes, it will. Because as I said now, he is an experienced boxer. He has been around the block, so he's not a dud. He can fight. So that night we're gonna see where I lie in experience and skill level. So and then I can see, okay, I can work on that and that and that, and then as well I can bring it. Well, in South African stage, I can see matching against, will it be harder work for that and that and that, and then so forth. So it's going to be tough, but we'll see what happens that night.
And like good young fighters do, you've been knocking guys out. I mean, that's just a part and parcel of the game. You do get obviously experiences where you can't knock everyone out, but
yes.
Is that what you're aiming for in this fight?
I never go into a fight wanting a knockout or anything. A knockout just happens. If you look for a knockout, you're not going to get one. I would want a knockout for this one. That will set my boundaries very, very, very high, and it's going to be good for me to know, okay, I've knocked out an international heavyweight he has a good rank. So that's what I'm aiming for. But the ultimate goal, if I go the rounds and look very, very good doing it. So,
And one thing I noticed about you as well, because I saw you, I think it was a year ago, sparring, and you were a lot bigger.
Yes.
like to say, but a lot more fleshy. And now you've cut down.
I was fat, yeah.
I didn't want to be the one to say it, but no.
That was okay.
But what? Is that just hard boxing training that's taken it off?
So it's strict, very strict dieting. Even Rainer told me I'm fat. I must work. I must work. So we just intense the training, and then go in a strict diet to And I've noticed that the more weight I lose, the faster I get the flexible, and the more round, the faster I run and everything. So, it's beneficial. So I love dropping weight, not too much, but it just feels better. I get compliments, and especially in the ring, you see the results. So I'm very, very happy of what I achieved so far. So yeah.
Are you near the perfect weight that you want to be now?
Almost, yeah. I think I'm gonna say more 5 kilograms. Then I'm at the perfect weight, and then I'm going to float about plus minus 3 kilos from that. So we're getting there slowly but surely.
And I know you from sort of the younger generation, as the heavyweight division doesn't really produce in South Africa. I'm talking about, hasn't really produced a lot of young stars coming through the ranks. But there was a thing on social media that Ron Visser put out about a hit list
Yes, I saw that,
And that
yeah.
caused a lot of controversy. Of course, you're still coming up. What did you make of that situation?
I know, it's the boxing world, so you need to call out people, and that's gonna cause conflict, or what do you call it? You speak about it. It's in the air.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be great for heavyweights, because now they say, okay, he challenged me, so maybe if you're not fighting, you can challenge him quickly, because you don't have anything to do now, so you can schedule that fight and then cross that name off that list. So it's not a bad thing. It's really not a bad thing.
But for you personally, I mean, when you're looking at are there other young heavyweight prospects that you think you might meet up with in the future?
Of course, I think there's heavyweights every year. So if there is, and everyone has talent, it's just hard work. And then if you have talent, it will show in the boxing ring. So I'm sure, actually 100% sure, there will be heavyweights that will come forth and get their licenses and fight, and then most probably fight me, but we'll see when that comes. I'll fight anyone.
Just quickly, while I have you on camera, because you're training with Rainer Liebenberg's
Yes.
team, is there any other really notable guys that you like to mention from the gym?
From the gym, Rainer is the big man in my corner. I mean, he's my coach, my friend, my mentor. He's everything. And then the team, Paul, Neil, and then all the sponsors behind me. So we're keeping it small, but it's like a family, so it's good.
All right, and then obviously it's a lot of confidence, I hope, going into this fight against the international boxer from Brazil. What's your actual fight prediction?
Fight prediction, I never see myself not winning. You go into a fight knowing you're going to win. Confidence always there, you have to respect, because going into a fight, so many things can go not the way you planned, but it will go our way, because we put in the work, and hard work beats talent. So let's go for it.
And then do you have a message for your opponent before you step in there with him?
Good luck.
Good luck.
He's gonna need it.
Okay. And then Juan, from your side, just lastly, any thank yous, any shout outs for anybody?
Yes. I want to thank you for having me today. I want to thank Rodney Berman from Golden Gloves for supporting me from day one. Sponsors, and especially my coach as well, pushing me to the limits. It's been tough. Sometimes I just want to quit, but he keeps me going, and I've just found myself to just keep on going. So I'm very thankful. And then we can't do anything without our Lord and Jesus Savior. So I'm very blessed, can I say, to have come so far as I've been at my age. So there's nothing more to say about that.